Alright, hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little troubleshooting on my PitBoss Austin XL. I've been using this grill since probably March, maybe the end of February, and I use it every day. But the last couple days, whenever I'm running the startup on it, it's been tripping the breaker, the circuit breaker on the outlet, and I'm having to flip them. And so I'm thinking that it's probably the igniter. I'm thinking there's probably something going on with the igniter. So we're going to go ahead and troubleshoot that today. I'm going to show you how to get to the igniter, unplug it, run through the startup. If it doesn't trip a breaker, then that tells us that the igniter is causing the problem. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Alright, so in order to get to the wires and stuff on this PitBoss Austin XL, there's a metal plate here on the bottom. It's got 2 screws in each corner, so you've got 8 screws you've got to take out to pop that plate off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open that plate up. Oh, let me say, before you start doing this, unplug your unit. Don't leave it plugged in whenever you're down here messing with this stuff. So I've already got mine unplugged. If you haven't got yours unplugged, go unplug it right now before you take off this bottom plate and access all those electrical wires. Unplug your unit. We're going to get these screws out of here and work on getting that igniter disconnected. Alright, so we've got that bottom plate taken off the grill. Just going to lean that up right here. So we've got the bottom plate taken off. I can now see all the wires down underneath here. The igniter is going to be the purple and the white wire. So what you need to do is you need to find the purple and white wire. It'll have a connector on it. Just disconnect, and that should disconnect your igniter. So I'm going to get down here and take that apart. Alright. So you see here we've got this cluster. And this plug right here is the one with my purple and white wire. So I'm going to unplug that, and that should disconnect the igniter. Alright, now you want to make sure everything's clear. You don't want this kind of still touching that. You want to just make sure that everything's clear, and then we're going to go ahead and run this thing and see if we've found out what the problem is. Alright, so for the process, I went ahead and pretty much disassembled my grill because, like I said, I'm going to run through the startup process, and I want to make sure that the auger is feeding pellets without binding up, so that I know it's not the auger causing the issue. I just want to make sure that everything's working all right inside my grill, so I've got to be able to see that. So get that apart and then run it through the startup. We're going to see if we can narrow it down to being just the igniter. Alright, so I went ahead and plugged my grill in. I plugged it into a GCFI outlet. That way, if something does go wrong, it'll just trip the outlet and I can, push a button and trip it back. But I'm hoping that unplugging that unplugging that igniter is going to solve the problem. So we're going to go ahead and run through the startup. We'll turn it to smoke, power it on. We're going to let it run for a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to be checking to make sure that the auger is feeding pellets without binding up. I'm going to make sure that it runs through the entire startup process before I determine that it is the igniter that's causing the issue. So we're going to let this thing run for a little bit. We'll be back in a minute to see what's going on. Now, even though the igniter is not connected, you can see those lights flashing on the bottom. That means that the board's saying that it's trying to ignite those pellets. Those 3 lights will flash during your startup, and that's what's going on right now. So far so good. We haven't blown a fuse. It looks like it's running through the startup process okay, minus the igniter being hooked up. Over here you can see that I am feeding pellets. So my auger isn't stopped up. Looks like it's probably going to be the igniter, but we're going to let it rock and roll and see what happens. Okay, so here we have it. The grill has gone through the startup process. Those 3 little lights are not flashing down here anymore, which tells me that the startup process is done. It is flashing 90 degrees. That's only because the igniter wasn't hooked up and the grill hasn't got to the temperature that it thinks it needs to be at. So it's telling you, basically it's like, hey, something's going on. So we know what's going on. It's got to be the igniter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just power down the grill. I'm going to get a hold of PitBoss, get me a new igniter. Once I get that igniter, I'll go through the process of installing the igniter. So, like I said, I've been using this grill every day for the last 6 months, and this is the first issue I've had. I'm not saying it's PitBoss's fault. They make a great product. Anytime you've got anything electrical in a product, you're gonna have issues. I run my stick burner every day too, you know. All I need is sticks to power that. This one's got a little bit more going on, so you can expect to have some stuff, maintenance and stuff that you've got to do to it. So, you know, this is what we done today. Troubleshooting on a igniter on a PitBoss Austin XL. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, punch the like button. I'll be doing another video where I show you how to put in the igniter.